So we've been asked quite a few questions, haven't we?
Yep.
Some that we've had while we've been vlogging, some that we've had from friends and family.
Over the time we've been travelling, really.
Yeah, so we thought we'd do a bit of a Q&A session today for our vlog.
So it's been, in a nutshell, since October. Since we left house and bricks and moved into a van, it's been since October.
Yeah, October 22, we finally left the house, didn't we? So we've been full-time since then.
No, definitely not. I mean, going on a package hold is one thing, isn't it? You fly out, you go to the airport, you're all revved up. It's nothing like that. It's a huge life step, you know, letting go of everything and deciding to take your children out of school and go onto a road and homeschool and meet different communities. It's not like the holiday feeling at all. But
some days are when we go.
when you sat on the beach,
yeah, we sat like yesterday. We sat on the
strange.
beach. That was like being on holiday. Definitely. When the good weather's here, it feels like being on holiday.
Yeah.
No.
No. Yeah, miss my friends and family.
Yeah, that's it. Don't
And
miss
the people,
anything else.
yeah, friends and family. Don't actually miss the UK system.
I'm trying to think if there's anything I miss. Nothing particularly.
Brain scrambling now.
No.
Friends
No.
and family, that's it.
Yeah, so nothing from the house I miss, nothing like that. Oh,
No.
The only thing I'd say is, it is a bit of a pain when you're doing laundry. But you manage it. But that's not something I would miss. It's just something that's a bit less convenient.
Conquer and achieve.
Yeah. We do. What do we stick to it?
We've roughly done a budget before we set off, having a rough idea of what we would spend on the road, but then you can work all that out on spreadsheets like we did, but then when you actually come on the road and spending fuel and going shopping and dipping in and out of sites as well as wilding it, then the costs are different from what you had written down.
Yeah, we underestimated, I think, how much it would be. Fuel particularly. So
Tolls. We avoid tolls now.
yeah, so in order to talk about how much we spend per month, we spent last month 450 on fuel and gas, £439 on food shopping, and then we spent about £160 on airs or campsites last month, which is quite high.
Yeah.
And then we spent £40 doing laundry. And
The Revolution.
yeah, laundromats, and then we also spent about £160 last month on things like excursions and day trips.
Gibraltar.
Yeah.
Cable
So actually,
cars.
that was a lot. Hence why we've come here for a month, because actually the cost of fuel and campsites and airs came to what this would cost us to stay here for a month in one place.
Yeah.
So we kind of worked out it makes sense sometimes, to try and stay in one place. I think we need to slow down.
Plus we wanted the weather to pick up as well, so that's why we decided to stay still here. And it gets cheaper as the longer you stay. It gets cheaper.
You get a discount for staying longer, you see.
Yeah,
So
over 29 days, and then you're getting 55% off the cost of this site. So benefits to stay for a bit, 20 days.
but it's not a cheap lifestyle, I would say, unless you really are doing it on a budget.
Yeah, not using sites. It wouldn't be cheap using sites, but.
And we're travelling quite quickly, really, and I think if we slowed down, we would probably save money, because fuel, that's a lot, wasn't it? Like 450 quid. But last month was when we had to get from Calais, from where we landed at Calais, all the way down here to Spain. So that was a lot of travel miles done in a short space of time.
Isn't it? Gas is lasting for.
Gas is fine.
Is it the Gaslow system is working really well? So.
But the budget is a big thing, and I might do a whole separate video on talking about that, because that's in costs are there. But
it's not massively over, is it? It's not massively over what we had on the sheets before we left for Europe, but we've definitely gone a few £100 over what we thought.
I think we really need to rein it in, but I think there'll be months when we do a lot of travelling and do some tour excursions and things, and then some months when we don't do as much, so it should balance out. So we'd want to try and reduce that slightly. I think the first month in Europe was crazy, really. We need to bring that down a bit.
Yeah, and we're still learning. We're only sort of 5 months into this this mission, so we're still
So-
learning all the time.
When we leave here, we're going to wild camp mostly.
Yeah.
And then sites are going to be confined to when we're doing cities and we want to go and visit a city.
See stuff.
And it's not really safe to leave the van unattended. So I
Yeah.
think those will be times when we use campsites in the future and try and do it
Yeah,
free
just as a
camping.
safe place to leave the van.
Yeah.
While we go and jump on a bus or a train and go and see stuff.
So yeah, I think we are probably spending more. We are almost like looking at it as a initial fun thing to do, travelling. So we're not doing it like some people do it. That's their way of life, and that's how they live. And every day they have to still work to bring money in. So we are using money that we have in savings at the moment. So we've got no income. So it is a case of just tightening the belt a bit, I think, for the next few months. Otherwise,
no
we'll be
getting away
coming home
from-
before we need to, won't we?
Okay, no.
Yeah,
This
getting
is
home.
home.
Oh yeah, we haven't got home. How do we cope with one toilet cartridge? Yeah,
Quite
so
a few people want to know
that was a
about the
learning
poo.
curve, wasn't it? Because
Yeah.
actually that was stuffing us up all the time.
We're
Was
filling it quick.
Yeah, the toilet was getting full. We kept having to
Four
find
people.
somewhere to go and stay and empty it. Now, obviously in France and Spain and Portugal, they do have things called airs, where you can go and do that, sometimes for free and sometimes maybe just a couple of
There
euros.
is a lot for free.
But we can manage
It's
now.
not much, is it? It's about
No, a couple of euros.
Couple of
Yeah, it's not
euros.
much. But we can manage now, can't we, for about 4 days by. So this was what we did. So
everyone
we
has
bought.
their own little way of controlling the poo flow.
Yeah,
But
well, the toilet. Me and Sam only use the toilet for number twos, and then we use like what are they called?
or we use public
A
toilets.
urinal,
if
one of
they're
those
there.
urinal pot things.
Yeah, like a-
Shiwis,
yeah.
something like that. So we tend to use those mostly, and also not putting toilet roll in the toilet cassette, and only putting
that fills it up.
yeah, that fills it up. So we try not to put toilet tissue.
They don't like it here anyway abroad, did it?
Yeah,
Blocks their
they don't want it
systems,
blocking
so-
up systems, so we bag that and put it in waste bin, and then that allows the one cartridge then tends to last at least 4 days.
4
I'd
to
say.
5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how we're getting around that. So 4 days.
Some people have extra tanks and they carry things, but if you try getting one of those cassettes poured into a 5-gallon
Yeah, I don't know
tank,
how
it would
people
just
do.
splosh and you'd be covered in splatter. So no, we're not going that route. Well,
So that's how we manage it, don't we? We
Yeah.
use that mostly, apart from number twos when we use the norm cassette, and then the kids just keep. It's too much. We tell them to not put tissue down it, but
they do.
they do.
Well, we try not to use them that often. We've used them for laundry. We don't really need them now for charging up anymore because of our solar system.
Well,
but
yeah, now the solar's
yeah, we
working
try and
well.
avoid using the sites.
The
Really.
thing is, the sites we're using them more when we're in the UK because there's nowhere
no
to
choice.
empty and fill water. But
Yeah, I suppose it is good to go on and fill with water and empty your cassette, but you can do that in airs and it's so much cheaper.
so here you don't really need to use campsites as much. But we're here now because it's nice to sometimes stay still somewhere, and often with wild camping you can only really stay a few nights, can't you, and then move on.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, we need to save campsites now for towns which we
Yeah,
might
for
be
visiting
like
and stuff,
Barcelona
seeing
and
stuff.
Venice is on the cards, and yeah, that's when we're going to.
Pompeii,
Yeah.
Italy.
So we're going to try and only use them on rare occasions going forward to decrease the budget.
Yeah, because it doesn't eat it.
Oh
Well.
well, that's been a bit hit and miss, hasn't it? To be honest.
Yeah,
So
'cause
we've
I
got.
think people's impression of it is that you're going to be a teacher and you're going to sit down like you would in a classroom in Britain and stuff like that. And the home education world is just totally not like that. It's a massive community with thousands of people in, thousands of groups all over the world, especially all over Europe. I've met so many people at homeschooling. It's very more active learning, and it's about what they're interested in and facilitating what their interests are, rather than cramming algebra down the neck that they'll never use again for the rest of their life.
I think we have tried to. We have the books that the schools give out, and that is basic maths, and I think just trying to keep up with that and finding things that the kids enjoy themselves and focus on. So Isabella's doing a lot of French because she really enjoys that. So it's kind of finding what interests them and going with that, really, is following the lead, really.
A lot of the kids were doing around the site were doing times tables and maths with chalk on the path that goes round, and other parents are they all get involved together, and it's more fun.
It's just less structured learning. I think we're not going to force structured learning while we're on the road, because I just think it's a recipe for arguments. And when you're in a small space, that's tricky. And
I don't want to do it now.
yeah, it's not fun for anybody when it gets like that. So we're kind of just letting it go. And in fact, the kids picked up their own books the other day, didn't they? Did
you can
them
pick
themselves.
your times and your moments, and they're happy. And
well, they pick it, not us. So it gives them the freedom to choose to learn when they want to do it, not
And
when
learn
we're
more.
dictating it to them. So that's how we're going at the minute. But obviously, whenever we find somewhere, if we settle down somewhere else, we'll either look at schools or home educating probably in a different light than we are right now. I think this is a very different, unusual situation. But I think when we're in one place, that might change, and we will probably consider a more structured approach.
well, it's not just teenagers now at 13; it's 11 now, isn't it? So
There's
kids
been
are
some moments,
coming
hasn't
on.
there? We have doors between us, so we can shut the kids out, and vice versa.
We're not
I
locking
guess
them in.
we're not locking them in, and sometimes we will swap beds. So if the kids have had enough of each other, or we just need a break, we won't always stay in the same beds. One of us will sleep in the back with one, and the other one will go in the bed.
Yeah.
We've got the tents out at the minute, which they don't sleep in, but they use for their own rooms that have got stuff in. So that's a bit of
Things
space.
always seem to get resolved within.
I think
They
we're
seem to
learning
get
conflict
resolved,
management, aren't we?
Yeah, but it doesn't stay moody for days or anything.
I'm not going to
like
lie,
that.
it's not easy. It's not like it isn't. Or some days are worse than others, and there's some days where we're like, oh God, and that's the honest truth of it, is that it's not always easy.
Any
but
parent knows it's got a teenage child.
yeah, but
what
you're
it can be
moving
like.
on, and sometimes just a change of scenery
change
is
of
enough to
environment.
change the shift in
Change
how
of
your
culture.
mental health is that day as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's fine. We're managing.
Being
It's just
in
the odd
nature a
day.
lot. Being outside in general, and
And
in
then one of us
nature.
will just go, I'm going for a walk, I'm just getting out of here. And I think that's the thing, is you just have to cope
The
and
environment to
find
help.
strategies to help you cope with preteens in the van.
It's a tricky one.
Favourite place?
There's
There's
so many places.
So many. Scotland and Isle of Skye for me was a pretty epic.
I liked Ireland. The scenery was amazing.
Yeah,
in Ireland.
amazing scenery, and the park ups are so easy and so plentiful, and amazing
And
ones
the
on the
parks
beach.
for the kids, they put effort in there.
The play parks are great in Ireland. And then Spain and France, they've all been amazing. I don't think we've had anywhere
Mountainous regions always pulled me in.
Do you know where I think my favourite one is so far though? Is the one when we first arrived in Spain, and we went and we parked up at the top of the national park mountains, and there was the wild ponies, and it was just so peaceful and picturesque. Yeah, that was a real favourite for me.
Yeah, so places so far, I'd say the Spanish mountains, and we've still got the Pyrenees to do yet, which is
We've still got so many to go, haven't we? But yeah, that was a favourite, and that kind of brings us to the next question.
Sat nav. What's it? A Garmin.
So we have a Garmin.
Model. I'm not sure the model number of it. But
yeah, we need to. I will put the model up here somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's been invaluable, hasn't it? Because we can put the dimensions of our van into it. The only thing I'd say is
we
occasionally,
updated it, didn't we, with the laptop before we set off, so it had all the Euro.
But it's sometimes not correct, is it? Because that time we were driving through France, and it told us we shouldn't be on that road, and I was like, yeah, we should. We are allowed to be on this road. There's no reason why we shouldn't.
Yeah.
So we occasionally will check with our Google Maps, because often you'll get diverted quite a long way, and it can add quite a bit of mileage and time onto your journey. So it's always worth just cross-checking it.
Out of the sat nav, all the sat navs that we've had over years, it's the best one.
It's nice to travel with peace of mind, to know you're not going to end up on a narrow street. That is one thing I'd say, isn't it? Yeah. And apparently we'll definitely need this when we go to Italy. Everyone says use that 100%. Oil filter?
Yeah, carry oil. I bought oil in the UK.
Yeah, because we'll be due for an oil change while we're on the road, won't we?
Yeah, another 1,000 miles, and plan to change it every 10,000 miles. So in another 1,000, it'll be 10,000 since we got the van. And oil and filter have not. You could get it in this country, but it's just easier when you've got it yourself.
You're quite handy. You can do it yourself, can't you?
Basic screen wash, engine coolant.
Yeah, screen wash, engine coolant.
Puncture repair stuff.
repairs for leaks in the van.
Yeah, bought all the fittings from Vanlife.
New fuses.
Island.
We were going to get new light bulbs, didn't we? And new washer wiper things and stuff like that. But actually,
We'll get them. We'll find them, I think.
we didn't bring them. And part of me was like, oh, should we? But we were so already overweight, and well, not overweight because we were in weight, but so much stuff.
It was difficult, wasn't it, to find copper grease?
Copper
couldn't
grease.
find copper
yeah,
grease
because our
anywhere.
brakes are squeaky still.
So, but I did find it, and I've put some on now and stopped the squeaking, and some brake cleaner. So sorted that, and it was cheap.
There's I think we're not going into any crazy countries where we're not going to be able to buy things. So I think we had to kind of put a bit of a on how much we take.
Yeah.
Yep. So where was it when we were? It was really cold. Scotland when we were. Is that
and Ireland was cold as well, but Scotland was like minus 10, 15.
Yeah. So
Frost on the van and stuff.
We have like an external screen by silver screens, and that's really useful. That makes a massive difference.
And you don't get condensation.
Yeah, it stops condensation as well. And also we have a diesel heater that we fitted.
That's been the key.
Separately.
That's the main thing. Yeah, the eBay Spacer D2.
That's been a lifesaver, hasn't it? Really.
Second hand as well off eBay, so you can pay a fortune for it, but that did.
Yeah.
And that's a brilliant piece of kit. You can warm the van up really quick, and then teddy bear bedding for us.
Yeah,
for
teddy
kids.
Bear bedding. You know, the thick stuff.
Electric blankets, all three of us.
Yeah, electric under blankets on every bed. And we charge those, because they don't use much power at all,
like 45 watts off the Bluetti. So
and we use the Bluetti to power them.
Don't leave them on though, do we, all night?
No, it's just to take the initial chill off the bed. And you only need it on for sort of half an hour before you get into bed, and then that made a massive difference.
Then if you are cold in the night, you could, I think the kids have sometimes, they just popped it on in the night.
Yeah.
But that's
how
we've not been cold. Even when it's minus 15 outside, we've managed to be nice and toasty in here. But I think the diesel heat is definitely the key if you're going to go anywhere cold.
Yeah.
Yes.
And no question on that. It's been the best thing we've ever done. Well, that's as mostly
the liquid of life. Yeah.
Well, we were saying, we did a little post, didn't we, about the fact that we can, how many litres
we
is
can
our
hold
tank?
140 litres in this van, and usually I get 5 litre tubs, so I'll fill the tank at an air, say right to the top, it costs €2, and then I will fill 3 or 4 5 litre tubs. Some people buy it from the shops, but I use the same tubs and we can just fill it.
Yeah, we have a water filter for drinking water. Because we don't drink the water out the tank. We have a Birkefeld water filter that we carry with us.
Yeah.
So we can filter whatever water we get and use
the water
that for drinking.
It can be a bit gammy.
Yeah, the water's not always great, and
you get dodgy spots in your brew and it's not good.
So we use that for drinking
but not through
water.
the filter.
And the water in the tank. And to be fair, we can, once we filled up, that's 4 or 5 days before we need to do it again, I'd say.
Yeah.
And
so
that's
we use that for showers, washing teeth, washing
we could
pots.
do the quickest showers ever in the world now. It's like
quicker than the Royal Navy.
Yeah, super quick.
Ship shower.
Yeah, that's how we do it. That's how we make it last.
It's doable.
Yeah.
It's doable. But we get it from, we actually get water from mainly airs.
Yeah, all campsites if there's no airs to be had, like in the UK.
Yeah.
And then you just have to
and
be
we haven't
careful.
struggled, have we? We've not struggled to get, in the UK, we struggled to get water because even sites were like, oh, we can't let you use, we can't let you come on and pay us £5 because we can't be seen to be. Yeah,
that was the camping and the caravan and motorhome club that we are members of, that we paid to be members, and I rang them up and I said, we're nearby, can we empty our waste and fill up our water? Happy to pay a nominal fee. No, we don't do that.
Can't be seen to condone wild camping.
Can't be seen to condone wild camping, and they were just totally no. So I promptly cancelled that membership.
We didn't have that in Wales, Ireland, Scotland. It was just in England. Not all places though. We're not painting a picture that they're all bad. Some places will let you drive on, pay them £5, they'll let you fill your water and empty your toilet.
If you're paying for a membership for somewhere, it's crazy. But just apparently the camping and caravan club does do it, but not the caravan and motorhome club. So just weird.
Yeah.
Not far enough, really, I think, because we
2 days.
We are
even
literally the compass drifters. We are drifting slightly. We get a few recommendations, don't we? And sometimes we'll kind of follow those slightly, which is why we're here in La Haradura, because it was a good home educating community here. Hence why we're here.
It was big here.
But we both said we need to start being a little bit more on the ball with
Active.
how far we plan ahead. Because we end up spending probably more money than we
think
should
that's where
on
we've
fuel.
maybe, that's where we've maybe spent too much, not too much, but where we've spent money on fuel is that it's because we're like headless chickens. So we have planned our next routes, haven't we, where we're going all the way up the coast up to northern France. We've planned where we're going to stop, and people have given us drop pins, and people that we've met here. And
so many people here that live full time, and they've given us some great tips, and we know kind of what direction we're heading. Don't get me wrong, we know where we're going, but it's a case of sometimes you want to stop and see various
we're learning to plan
things, don't you? And then you can get a bit sidetracked, I think, and then you can spend more money than you plan. So we're trying to be a little, from next week when we leave here, we are going to try and be a little bit more forward planning, aren't we? And
we'll plan again probably when we get to Northern. We've got the route planned when we leave on Wednesday up to take us to over the Pyrenees. So when we get into northern France, into southern France, then we'll basically sit down with a cup of tea and plan the next leg. So we haven't planned the whole route. I don't know if anybody could, or that'd blow your head apart. But,
someone else do it for us. Yeah.
We're always looking for potential.
We have this conversation every day. Every day we have this conversation, Sam and I. What we're going to do, we're going to keep going. And
well, we thought it was Portugal by looking at other people's videos and what they were doing and setting up in Portugal. I thought it was going to be there.
What, you mean to set up? We were talking about set up in Portugal.
Yeah, to buy a piece of land and set up. And
half looking for places to live, potentially. But I think
it's not Portugal.
We were coming to the realisation that actually a foreign country, although it has a lot of benefits with the weather, there is lots of drawbacks as well, and I think they're becoming more apparent as we're travelling. But we also thought the kids were really keen to buy land again and settle down, and it turns out that has now changed, and they want to carry on travelling.
Turn my phone off.
So I think what we're going to do is just keep going as we are, and then
I think we'll know the place when you get there. You'll feel the vibe of it.
Well, if we find,
you know what, I love this place, and so far, barring Ireland, we haven't come across that yet. Northern France is amazing. The property prices are
for what
awesome.
you can get for your money in France is phenomenal.
So potentially there, potentially Ireland, but then again, maybe come August, we'll be in a totally different place mentally. And
if it was just down to us, I don't think we would stop. I would happily keep going and then go. We talked about shipping the motorhome to Canada and doing 6 months Canada and 6 months States. I would still love to do that, and I think what we'll do is in summer, probably around July, August, we'll have another chat with the kids about what they want to do, and then we'll take it from there, I think. And
we've got to remember to try and enjoy the journey rather than
we try not to.
It can blow your mind apart sometimes thinking about where you're going to settle.
We're enjoying not having to commit to anything just yet, but we also have to be wary of the money. So we
aren't money. It is chipping away.
If we travel, the longer we travel for, the more of our savings we're going to eat into, and that is something to consider. We're looking forward to visiting next and where we'll be going. I'm looking forward to Italy, 100%. I can't wait. I've always wanted to go to Italy and Sicily. Someone's mentioned to go to Corsica and Sardinia, and we might do that if we can get a ferry over. And also I'm looking forward to Albania.
Pompeii. I'm looking forward to seeing Pompeii.
Yeah, Pompeii and
you
Vesuvius.
Can walk up Mount Vesuvius, so whether the kids will do that I'm not sure, but it will. I know it probably might be very touristy then and things like that. And
we're trying to get there sooner though, in April, so
to avoid the crowds and
the
mainstream tourism. We just want to.
Croatia and Albania as well are supposed to be absolutely stunning, so I'm looking forward to that. So I think the places that I'm looking forward to the most are the ones to come, like Spain, France. I've been to before, so this is nice.
The Alps. I'm looking forward to the Alps. I can't wait to see proper big mountains and maybe some wingsuits.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
the Alps.
Extreme stuff.
Yeah.
A routine.
No.
It's definitely wake up and drink tea, Yorkshire tea.
Copious amounts of tea and coffee in the morning before we even think about it.
No decisions can be made until we've drank a cup of tea, and we do drink a lot of tea.
Yeah, I think we have a very chilled. We don't have a routine. We just kind of get up, and then if it's a travelling day, we'll batten down the hatches, as we call it.
Yeah.
Prep and then leave. And since we've been here, we probably just, yeah, we just read.
I've been for a few walks here and there.
Yeah, just enjoyed the fact that we don't actually have to have a routine for once.
Quite a bit of talking to people as well. It's amazing how many other nationality people on here speak good English, and you can have good conversations. Yeah, we've been up and down the whole front
beach
of
days and
Herradura now for a bit. And
painting, pottery, there's classes here that we did. I think it's just a case of enjoying the fact we don't have a routine.
Well, there's no routine like there was at home. I was up at 6 o'clock every morning, and I would, race and load my van and get all my tools in order, and then I'd be rushing, drop the kids off to school, fly back, late to get to someone's house, rush, and that was my routine every day. It was just boom, boom, boom. But there's none of that here. It's just totally out of the window. It's completely more relaxed and
good.
Yes.
No routine. No routine is good.
No, but I think we've answered a lot of questions there. 20 questions.
We didn't answer one more. Will we be going back to France? Because we did that very quickly, which we did. Because we were so fed up with we needed to get to some sunshine, didn't we? So we hurtled through France, which is a gutter, because I love France.
Yeah, we were chasing the nice weather.
But we are.
Brittany. I want to see Brittany.
I think at the end of the summer, so when we've done Croatia and we're heading up to Switzerland, we'll probably enter France then and spend a little bit longer in France, I think, just to kind of look at whether it is somewhere we could, if we decide we're going to settle, is that somewhere we're going to settle? But as of yet, we aren't even decided if that's the plan.
No. But yeah, I've met some French people, a French lady this morning who left France for the same reasons we left England, and Belgian people, German people. There's a lot of other nationalities, not just like us, but they're leaving their countries because it's just so expensive to live, and they just want a different way. All got children.
I think that's the thing, is we don't necessarily, even if we buy somewhere, we don't want it to be like a full-time home. We're going to literally have it as a base. And then hopefully still have a van conversion that we're going to spend a lot of time travelling as well. Because I don't think, even if we bought a house or bought land or whatever we do, I don't think I could give up this travel lifestyle completely. I think we still need to have that.
More to see till the end of your life.
Yeah.
I would drive to India.
Yeah, if we could, we'd just keep going and do more travelling. So who knows?
Costa Rica.
Who knows? We might do that.
When the children are growing up, I don't know if we'd ever stop.
We'll see.
Just keep travelling. But
we're enjoying the journey at the minute. That's
quite interesting getting people's questions though. Because we're not massively mainstream. But
I think the budget one and the costs and stuff, I will try and do a separate thing about that, because that's its whole own thing.
Yeah, fuel and food.
And that's
no getting away from paying for
you
that.
can't.
And your insurance for the van. And
but ultimately, this lifestyle is a hell of a lot less, obviously, than living in a house. But we appreciate that there's benefits that you achieve by paying a mortgage, and you own something at the end of it. But sometimes that's not all that it's about for us, I don't think, and that's not the same for everybody. But for us, we found it tiring, stressful, and
monotonous.
Yeah, and I felt like my whole life was never enough. And
it's not Groundhog Day anymore.
And clearly, being here in places like this, you realise there's so many other people from other countries that feel the same and doing what we did. They just sold their houses and are spending their lives travelling and doing work as and when. And there is a different. I think that's the thing, is it's not actually as crazy as you think. And if we needed to be on a budget, we'd be on a budget. But at the minute, we just wanted to enjoy it and not be too worrying about money. And then, but I think actually doing this video did make us sit down and think, actually, we probably have reached
We were going to go through the questions and look at them, but it just probably would have all come out rehearsed and gobbledygook.
Yeah,
so we found it best not to go through the questions. We'll just write them down.
But I did look at the budget one, because I did have to get some figures for that, and I was like, Sam, I think we need to.
Well, people want to know about
rein
figures,
it in a
don't
bit.
they?
But that first month, it was a lot of miles that we did, and that fuel cost was really high. So I'm hoping that now we're sort of slow travelling, that'll bring it down. But yeah, I think that we hopefully have answered everything. Hope so. If you've got anything else,
anyway, we'll just answer.
You can always ask us. We're always here. We're not going anywhere. We're just chilling. We're just sat outside enjoying the sunshine while England is in snow. But so I don't know what we're going to be here till Wednesday. Today's Sunday. We're going to be here till Wednesday, and then we're heading off. So hopefully next Sunday will be more of a travel vlog, won't it? Bit of
Yeah,
travelling.
we'll let you know where we're at, what it's like.
Bit
up
more
near
interesting than just
Barcelona.
us two talking at you. But yeah,
stuff to look at.
it's interesting, I suppose. It's what before we did this, it's what we wanted to know, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How much is it costing you? You know, how are you doing certain things, and having kids as well. It does add an extra weird dimension. It's not just us to think about. You've got to always think about them, and
It's not just the two of us, there's four.
Yeah, although they're never really on camera because they don't like it.
They get shy.
They get shy. They think we're lame. We're lame, aren't we?
Yeah, Isabel sat
Embarrassing.
there going, you two are so embarrassing.
Yeah. She's coming round to it a bit now though.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's not a fan of it. So although we don't see them much, we do have 2 kids.
No, but we will show you more when we get up to near the border of France. Probably in the Pyrenees.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think we'll have got that far by then. Next week will just be more of Spain, I think.
Yeah, possibly.
Right. See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.